A tax preparer spent 6 years secretly changing his clients' tax returns behind their backs, and when investigators got close, he applied for US citizenship and lied about the whole thing. The man at the center of this case is Wislet Metayer, a 45-year-old tax preparer originally from Haiti. He was living in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and working as a professional tax preparer. Court records show Metayer worked as a professional tax preparer from 2019 all the way through 2025. That's 6 full tax seasons of access to real people's financial lives. According to prosecutors and court records, Metayer allegedly ran a refund inflation scheme. Here's how it worked. When a client came to Metayer to get their taxes done, he'd sit down with them, collect their documents, and tell them what they needed to know. Normal stuff. But then, behind the scenes, he went further. He started adding things to their tax returns that were completely made up. According to court records, to attract customers and justify inflated fees, he filed dozens of federal income tax returns containing false business losses, deductions, and credits. Let's break that down. A business loss on a tax return means you're telling the government, my business lost money this year, so I owe you less. A deduction is something that reduces how much of your income gets taxed. A credit directly reduces the tax you owe, dollar for dollar. Metayer was inventing all of these fake losses, fake deductions, fake credits, adding them to real people's returns without telling them. Why? 2 reasons. Reason 1, bigger refunds made his clients happy. Happy clients came back next year. Happy clients referred their friends. Reason 2, prosecutors say he used those inflated refunds to justify charging higher fees. Basically, look how big your refund is. I got you that. Pay me more. Some of the clients had no idea what was actually on their own returns. This type of fraud is called ghost additions. Here's what makes it so dangerous for the clients too. Their names are on those returns. If the IRS comes knocking, it looks like the client filed false information. So how did it get caught? The scheme was uncovered and ultimately brought to trial in West Palm Beach, where a jury convicted Metayer on 32 counts. The IRS has systems that flag patterns, like the same preparer producing unusually high refunds or identical deductions appearing on dozens of returns. When dozens of clients from the same preparer all suddenly have business losses, that's a red flag. IRS criminal investigation agents in Florida were assigned to look into it. But the story didn't stop there. Here's the part that really tells you how bold this was. In March 2024, Metayer applied to become a naturalized US citizen. To apply for citizenship, immigrants must fill out a form called Form N-400. That form asks very direct questions. For example, have you committed any crimes? Have you been involved in illegal activity? The government wants to know who they're granting citizenship to. Prosecutors said Metayer falsely denied his ongoing criminal conduct, concealing the fraud from immigration authorities. He lied while actively running the scheme. That became a second criminal charge on top of everything else. According to authorities, the false refunds were paid out to the clients. Metayer's benefit came from charging larger fees. But the government calculated that the scheme caused over $175,000 in losses to federal funds. On February 2026, Wislet Metayer was sentenced in Miami to 36 months, that's 3 full years, in federal prison. He was also ordered to pay $167,792.45 in restitution, meaning he has to pay that money back to the government. And it doesn't end there. Because he is still a Haitian national, Metayer will be subject to removal from the United States after completing his prison sentence. 3 years in prison, pay back nearly $168,000, then deportation, 6 years of fraud, gone, his life in America, gone. Cases like this show how tax fraud usually collapses. It rarely fails because of one mistake. It fails because of patterns. For preparers watching this, the IRS isn't just looking at individual returns. They're looking at patterns, repeated fake numbers, unusual refunds, same tricks. Here's what every single person watching this needs to understand. As a taxpayer, the client, your name is on your tax return. The IRS sees your name. Always ask to review your return line by line before it gets submitted. If your preparer gets defensive about that, that's your sign to leave.